So before I talk about the Georgia Southern game, I want to briefly touch about some Pac-12 news the last couple weeks. First off, the news that we finally signed the CW to a deal on CBS. That's not a surprise. We all knew that was coming. It's good we got it out of the way. I've seen some numbers online that suggest individual teams get something like $14 million to $18 million, depending on what Pac-12 Enterprises does, in addition to like the $10 million that you'll get from all the total media partners when all of a sudden it's done. I don't know how true that is, but I'll definitely take it, and that alone would justify leaving the Mountain West for the Pac. I think it also suggests that we are getting close. We were closer to more members being announced. In fact, we did announce a new member. Dallas Baptist is joining as a baseball-only member starting in the 2026-27 year. As a huge baseball fan, I love this move. This guarantees that the Pac will be a multi-bid baseball league, which is something that Fresno State would never get, no matter how good you are in the Mountain West. And all the environments in the Pac are going to be in stable, non-altitude regions with real baseball played. And Texas State has to be happy about this move because they're going to have a team that they can travel by bus to. Now, I think this move also foreshadows other non-football members being announced. I think we'll see other teams like St. Mary get involved because TNT and ESPN would love to have that matchup, and I think we'll get a team from Texas to join in as well for Texas State. So via the Pac, things are really starting to move. It's taking a little while, but it's finally happening. All right, now the Georgia Southern game. It's going to be around 99 to 100 degrees in Fresno, which is typical for the first home game of the year. We've had some teams that as soon as they step out the bus, they just flat out quit. UConn in 2021, Colorado in 2012 were examples of two teams that just did not want to be there and just wanted to just survive. The Heat is not going to bother Georgia Southern. You know, from where they are, they're going to say it's no big deal. All right? So we can't count on the Heat giving us a real big advantage. They're trying to pump up the tickets to get to 38K. We'll see if they get there. It's Labor Day weekend. It's really hot. Had an awful performance against Kansas, and you had a subpar year last season. We'll see if we can get to 38,000. We've got like a 14 home game streak of that. Now, Georgia Southern last year finished 8-5. They're under a familiar head coach. For those on the West Coast, Clay Helton. I think every Bulldog fan, diehard, knows that Georgia Southern is going to be a formidable team. They're a team that can beat the Bulldogs. It's going to be a hard-fought football game. This is not like some, random nobodies that you never heard of. I know people might think this is the FCS team facing this year, but that is Southern. The Eagles are very capable of beating the Bulldogs, although I think if you were to give Clay Helton a choice between either this week or next week at USC, he would pick that game to win. Bottom line, they're going to be a team that's coming to win. Now, offensively, they are a spread team, I believe. They're going to try and do what Kansas did last week at the Bulldogs, and be up to the Bulldogs to really show that they can stop us. They have a fast style play. Their tempo, as Barron said, is really scary. They have a pair of preseason all-conference wide receivers, 6'1" junior Josh Dallas, and another senior Dalen Cobb. So the secondary is really going to be tested. They have to be ready and perform better than they did last week. Georgia Southern is also one of the few group of 5 teams that has a starting quarterback back. J.C. French, the 5th, I think it is, 5th or 4th, one of those. I think he finished like 66% of his passes. Last I saw, it was like just under 3,000 yards, 17 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Got sacked 27 times last year. Had a net positive of 239 yards and 2 touchdowns, though. He only had one game with more than 300 yards last year, so they're not really going to throw like crazy. They'll be up to the Bulldog defense to perform and force turnovers because they are capable of doing that with a spread-type team. On defense, they return 3 all-conference talents. They've got a 6'1", 350-pound big boy, Latrell Bullitt, I think his name is, a 7-year linebacker. Okay, that's just ridiculous. Come on, dude. But, yeah, named Harrington. And they got another first team guy in Chance Gumbo so that they basically run a 4-2-5 from what I've heard. They're going to try and stuff the defense with that big bullet guy. And offense has got to play better for the Bulldogs, and that means running the ball much more effectively. That means allowing guys like Speedy Luke, Ramirez and Donaldson a chance. The offensive line is going to have to do that, although Speedy has a better chance of getting around the edges than I think the other two guys who are just around the in between tackles. In terms of the special teams, I think they have to play. I've heard they don't have a kicker who has taken a Division I snap yet, so that is on paper an edge for Fresno State. Although Dylan Lynch, you never know what you're going to get. As I said before, on paper our team has a lot of experience coming back, which is unusual for a Group of 5 team. Now, what do I think will happen in the game? I think that because of the embarrassment last week at Kansas, the Bulldogs are going to play better just from pride. They're going to be at home, so the crowd will not be hostile to them as well. I think we'll see the defensive line able to make pressure. The defensive line actually did get penetration last week at Kansas. I would not blame them for it. It'd be up to the secondary to stop the Eagle wide receivers. I think that will be really what makes or breaks the offense and scoring and so forth. For the Bulldogs, I don't see the game plan changing from what Ansys wanted to do. Again, North Carolina State, run the ball, establish not big tempo guys, control the clock, have long drives, have E.J. Warner try and take care of the football. I think if they do all those things, the Bulldogs will come out with a, let's say, 24-16 win. And I think they will do that. I think the Bulldogs will pull off a tough one. It'll be a type of game that Bulldog fans are just going to hate in the moment because you're just going to go, ugh, really? Because you're looking down the barrel of an 0-3 start if you don't win this one. They go to Corvallis next week. And that's not an easy place to play for a Bulldog team or anybody. So, in theory, we could have a 1-3 start, because I don't see how they lose to Southern. I mean, that would just put the season right there. They start off 0-4, and even then, you've got to. This is a huge game. I don't want to say it's a linchpin game, second game of the year, but Madden needs to win this one. He's got to do it. Now, a couple years ago, they started off 1-4, finished ranked with 10 wins, conference championship. So again, that could happen. But let's not put it up there. Let's just get this win. Just get it done. We're capable of doing it. We know we can do it. And if you're any Eagle fans watching this, I'm going to be making a video game day. Give you a tour of Bulldog Stadium. I don't know when I'll record it. It'll be before or after the game. But one thing you need to know is that it's a very... How should I put this? If you're an older person, it's kind of hard to get around. And... concessions are fine. Hope you enjoy your stay outside of a Bulldog win. But let's get it done, dogs.